Sheep.
Bruh.
Do you honestly think you're fucking funny?
You stupid. My man.
All week long.
All rise, order in the court. And I apologize because my computer, contempt of court, I call it now.
Well, I mean, it happens sometimes. We all get a little under the weather. Need a little rubbing, a little loving.
It was running fine for the 10 minutes that it was up before I even connected to StreamYard. So I don't know. It's whatever. Hope you guys are doing all right. Had a case, but that had some video and stuff. But now I
can't find it.
I don't have time to just re-rag it and figure it out now. So we're just gonna run with what's happening live, and let's just jump into it. We got a case. Myself, Creedence, and Mikey off to a great start on a Wednesday.
Reno, everybody.
Been in jail. Okay. Although you could be working off your fine, so there's that. I don't really want to have you do that. All right, Mr. Hesselgasser, if you don't have any other questions, you are excused, and good luck. We'll see you on the 27th.
A lot of self-touching already with this guy.
You're welcome. Susan Kilmer, 22
Susan?
CR 00936.
Oh,
Hello,
Susan's
good
far too old
Good morning.
being there.
Ms.
Susan,
Kilmer, you
not
were
guilty.
charged on
Move
January
on.
the 20th, 2022 with trespassing. You were given a citation for that trespassing in order to come to court on February the 2nd. It's alleged that you failed to appear for court on February the 2nd. Did you appear for court?
Trespassing.
Well,
Uh-oh.
I lost the ticket, so I didn't even know I had a court date. And so I didn't know I had a warrant for my arrest. And then just before I got here, I called the police on my roommate because he was acting crazy. And I just
What
wanted
about
to resolve the
Futurama?
situation. So when they got there, that's how I found out I had a warrant. And so
Okay.
here.
Well, when you get a ticket, you usually should surmise that you have a court date. And you can always call the Reno Municipal
the
Court and
mail
get
roommate
that court
to
date
give
if
it
you've
up.
lost your ticket.
Yeah,
So
that's probably how I lost it.
I'm just
so
glad
do you
that
want to admit or
this guy up
deny
here took time
that
from
you
his,
failed to appear?
Well, yeah, I
small
failed to
LLC
appear.
of ironing
All
clothes.
right, so you're admitting that. And what is your plea to the trespassing charge? And the allegation is that you were asked to leave the area of the Golden, let's see, what is it? Golden Gate gas station on 6th Street.
Another Golden Gate gas station, son of a
yeah.
bitch! What's happening at those places?
You admit that you were trespassing?
I don't remember because I was drinking. That's
Okay.
otherwise I would have left. I usually don't act like that.
Oh,
You want to enter a plea of no contest, Ms. Kilmer?
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah.
I drove there drunk,
All
and
right,
then
and you
I stayed too long,
understand
and
that
I
by
drove
entering a
home
plea of
drunk.
no contest that the court
I
will find you
appreciate your
guilty of the
honesty.
trespassing.
Yeah.
Did you understand your constitutional rights?
Yeah.
And any question about your rights?
Yeah.
No.
You understand that the maximum penalty for trespassing and any other misdemeanor
It
in
has
the
that
state of
look.
Nevada could be up to 6 months in jail and or a $1,000 fine?
That's like if I
Usually
do
like
that again.
Pre-made tea, but this
Well,
is not
no,
too bad.
today you could, the maximum
bad.
penalty for
Yeah.
any misdemeanor could be
Pretty good.
up to 6 months in jail and or $1,000
Pretty good.
fine. I'm probably not going to give that to you as a first offense trespassing, but people who are dangerous or dangerous to
You're-
themselves
You mean like
could
if
get
I do
more
that
sentence.
again?
Do you understand?
It's like,
Okay,
no.
yeah, and I have one
Now.
question. Am I gonna have to go to court again, or is this a done deal?
This is
Is
going to
this
be
it?
it.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
This
Okay.
done
We're
deal,
going to
baby.
hopefully resolve everything.
Morning,
here today.
David.
Okay. All
All
right.
right, you
David,
have
what's
served in the
up?
military.
Double F.
No.
The court will accept your plea as freely, voluntarily, and
Were you
knowingly
in the
entered.
military?
How long have you been in custody, Miss Kilmer?
2 days.
And
What
is that
question is
enough,
that?
the 2 days in jail,
Yep.
enough to remind you that you need to make your court appearances?
You bet. I don't want to be back here again.
120 is
That's for
Can't
Does
sure.
happen
anyone
real
have any
soon,
objection
too.
to time served on the
Like
trespassing?
this long.
No, Your Honor.
She's come a long way, baby.
All right, Ms. Kilmer, I'm gonna go ahead and sentence you to time served on both matters. I would
Would it be great
suggest
if
that you
her
probably
shirt
want to
was
stay
super
away
wrinkly?
from that Golden Knight gas station. You've probably
Golden
been
Knight.
permanently trespassed from those guys.
It's called the Golden Knight
So
gas
you'll
station.
know
Maybe it
now
is
that you're
Golden Knight.
clear-headed
That's
that you're
their
not to go
hockey
back,
team.
okay?
Right. I don't go down there. I live in Lemon Valley, so I usually don't go down there. So
All right, well, you're sentenced to time served, so
Doesn't matter
take care
how
of
it was
yourself.
in the
Please make your
military
court
anyway.
appearances the next time,
I
okay?
was drunk and
All
just
right,
driving
thank you.
around.
You're
I
welcome.
don't
You Stephen O'Neill.
Rebecca Mortensen, 21
Rebecca.
TR 17507.
Oh, Rebecca beat
Good
some
morning,
ass.
Miss Mortensen.
Morning.
Miss Mortensen,
Drugs.
let's see here. You've put a jail inquiry. You're currently booked under my maiden name, Peck, P-I-C-K. I have a traffic ticket with you guys I would like to resolve with time served.
Pick, they make
I've
those
been
coil
incarcerated
things
in
that you light
Washington
on
County
one
Jail
end
since
so that you
February
know
the
it's moving.
3rd and have not been released. I am in the process of handling other matters and may be a resident at the Washoe County Sheriff's Office for some time. I appreciate your time and consideration in resolving this
I didn't need to
ticket.
pass notes to the judge.
Have we been able to, it looks like we have located the
Good to see
ticket.
you yelling.
It looks like it was from November the 30th, 2021. It was issued in your name, Ms. Mortensen. And the violations are failure to maintain a lane, driving on a canceled, revoked, or suspended driver's license, hit and run, and registration required. Did you understand those charges?
Hit and run.
And Ms. Yao is an offer to be tendered to Ms. Mortensen.
One of those
Yes.
things.
Your Honor, I believe
Yeah.
she'll be pleading no contest to the hit and run
Mosquitoes away.
and the suspended license. I would be moving to dismiss the other two charges
Used to
and
burn them on the
recommending
dash
time
at the,
served based on the fact that
drive-in
she
theater.
has the felony hold.
All right, and Ms. Mortensen, is that what you want to do here this morning? All right, and what is your plea to the driving on a suspended driver's license?
No contest.
And what is your,
You've sent too much,
Just real quick,
David.
she
They've
was
blocked.
already previously sentenced. The dispo
No,
is
there's
in
something
your-
wrong with it.
in your
I saw that
files,
today.
And she does
If anybody tries to send stars today, something's definitely wrong. Because the icon isn't there. If I go and try and look at it over on our thing, it's down over there too. So there's something going on with that today. I don't know what that is. I looked into it earlier. Maybe we've been. I thought maybe we've been suspended or something. So I looked, made sure we didn't have no nasty grams from the metaverse, and I didn't see anything. So I think
It's
something's
the,
broken.
All right. It's
have
thought the
balance
count.
of-
I
Wood
save
bugger.
them all.
sorry, I don't see the dispo here. I only have the ticket.
It's separate. It looks like it's separate from the file.
Oh, okay, let me
It's
look
not
then.
in dispo.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So Judge, of the paperwork we got from Joe, it just shows the arrest warrant, it shows the citation, it shows and a small declaration.
Miss Yao is
So
a
we didn't get any of that
interesting lady.
stuff.
Okay, it looks like Ms.
I'd say,
Gonzalez
yo,
as
well.
usual is correct. On that case 21 TR 17507.
Yo, well. What up, yo, well?
Ms. Mortensen entered a plea of no contest to failure to maintain a improper lane change and driving on a suspended license on January the 31st, 2022. And then she had a fine of $305
She's scratching her
and
ass.
report to compliance 60 days to provide proof of valid driver's license. So what we can do
I
is
don't know what it's
just
doing.
convert both of those sentences
That's
to
the one that I
time
meant.
served.
Well, thank you.
Is there an outstanding matter that we
Appreciate
haven't
that.
dealt with?
That was it. I just wanted to make sure that it was all resolved since I'm going to be here for a while.
Looks like it's
Okay.
broken.
So does anyone have any objection to converting those fines as previously ordered to time served?
Oh, Your Honor.
So, and Mr.
Oh,
Sotelo, I
Brenda.
assume that you don't have any objection either.
Fair assumption.
All right, and Ms. Mortensen, I will tell you this.
What is
The
Yao
sad part is
smiling
that
about?
that
She's a
suspended
flirt.
driver's license conviction will have gone through. And let me look, see the
Ed,
date.
thank you for the fake stars on
I
your
didn't know
tube.
it was a suspended license. I was just checking out one.
Well, you pled to a driving with a suspended license, sadly. And so,
Sadly.
and you were given the opportunity to cure. Did you ever get a new license?
No, I was arrested 3 days later. So I
Okay, well, here's the news from DMV. when the conviction goes through, they suspend your driving privileges for another year. So that was January 31st. So your privileges will be suspended until January 31st of 2023. So I just want to give you that heads up, okay? All right, good luck.
Good luck, I say.
Antonio Orozco,
what'd Tony do?
22CR04049.
You there, Tony?
He's got a long
Tony
ways to
Bennett.
walk. Maybe that's him with his head in his hands.
All right, we'll continue Mr. Orozco till tomorrow. He was charged with drinking an open container, paraphernalia, and a failure to appear.
Yeah,
It looks
sounds like
like-
a regular Tuesday.
Let me see if a bail's been set. It does matter. Yes, bail has been set at $571 bondable, so we'll go ahead and keep that in place and see Mr. Orozco tomorrow. He has a suspended sentence of 180 days, suspended for 2 years in my court, and that is for petty larceny and obstructing and resisting an officer for
Tom
lawyers'
petty larceny.
information.
Thank
Next matter I have is Charlie. He didn't show today. Let's see.
That's Charlie.
Robert Scott, 22CR03464.
He didn't wake up in time in his cell to come.
I thought I had that one.
Look at
How
the
do
guy
you
over there with
record
his
with
head.
Yes, we already
I
dealt.
thought he pled.
Yeah,
not
if you're
guilty.
incarcerated,
We
how do
already,
you,
yeah, we've
how do
already
you not
dealt
make
with
it on
Mr.
time?
Scott.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We'll go down to Corey Smith, 22CR07049.
I don't have a Corey Smith on my docket sheet.
Angela, 3 months. Congrats.
Okay,
The next person that I had was Stephen
Three big uns.
Salim,
Yeah.
but
So Lee,
all right. Mr. Salim, 21CR10012. Good morning, Mr. Salim. Are we pronouncing your last name correctly?
It's fine.
It's fine.
How do you pronounce it?
He had a
Solon.
rough night last night.
Solon, thank you. Think that that's a sign of respect to pronounce people's names correctly, and that's my intention here
Just like
today.
it's respectful to
So,
stand
Mr.
up.
Salam, your case is 21CR10012.
Tired as hell.
It
Had
looks
a
like
long
you
night at
had
work.
an arrest for failing to appear for court, signed by Judge Christopher Hazlett Stevens. You had a trespassing charge, sir, and you were ordered to appear at the community court on June the 8th, 2022. Do you admit, sir, or deny that you failed to appear at the community court?
Admit.
And did you understand your constitutional rights, sir?
Yes.
Do you have any question about those rights?
He's wore out, Nate.
Do you have any question about the maximum possible penalty for a failure to appear, which could be up to 25 days and up to a $500 fine? And have you served in the military, sir?
No, ma'am.
The court will accept your
Military. What is up
admission
with
to
the
the failure
military
to
thing?
appear is
Never-
freely,
I
voluntarily.
have never
knowingly
heard anybody
entered.
ask that.
Why didn't you go back to community court? It
When you
sounds to me
ask
like
that,
we were
it-
working with you.
It makes me
I
feel
was
like
there,
they're getting a
actually, and
military
then,
discount or
I
something.
didn't realize they closed
Yeah.
so early.
Yes.
So by the time I went up to see the judge, they were already done.
It's kind of like, the whole,
Well,
people
That's
go
a failure
to
to
places
appear.
and buy stuff
They're there
like
from
you got
8
military
o'clock.
discount.
Everybody's there at
Right. That's
7:30.
what I mean. It's like,
I know.
So,
listen, if you answer yes, I'll probably be a little less rough.
so how
on it.
long have you been in custody?
A few days. I can show up at community court next Wednesday, no problem.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna order. I'm gonna send
You
you
had
the
one
time
chance,
served
bud.
on the failures to appear, and then I'm gonna
All day,
order
every
that you
day, I think.
show up at the community court to finish up your services. It sounds to me like they were trying to help you and you understand that, right? Okay, next Wednesday morning, 8 o'clock, be there or be
Got
square,
jokes.
right?
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
all
you.
right, you set the time
Be
served.
there or be square, old timer.
Kamisha
What about-
Spruell, 22CR08364.
Oh, off camera.
Good morning, Miss Spruell.
Good morning.
Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes.
Miss Spruell, on June the
Oh,
13th,
Brittany, nobody has an
2022,
idea.
you were charged with two
I've
offenses.
showed it so many
Use
times.
or
It's so
possession
cool.
of drug paraphernalia and drinking or possessing an open container of alcohol in public. Did you understand those charges?
Yes, I did.
And is there an offer to be tendered here to Miss Spruell?
Your Honor, it looks like there's only Oh, no, I'm actually wrong. So if she wanted to plead to the open container, I would move to dismiss the paraphernalia.
All right, you want to do that, Ms.
What a
Spruell?
deal.
Contest?
All right, and that's your plea to the open container charge?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand by entering a plea of no contest that the court will find you guilty of that offense?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any question about your rights?
No, ma'am.
She
You
thought it was
understand that
Thirsty
the maximum
Tuesday.
penalty for this offense could be up to 6 months in jail and or $1,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you served in the military?
Yes, I have.
You're a veteran of what branch of the service?
Marines?
All right, and are you an honorably discharged veteran?
Yes.
All right, and why are you using drugs and alcohol when you have the VA as a service provider? Have you signed up for your benefits at the VA?
No, I haven't signed up. I was actually on my way to sign up, but I couldn't find my car.
But I did find
Okay,
some liquor.
So, Ms. Spruell, let me just tell you that I operate a veterans treatment court, so I work with the VA all the time.
Okay.
In fact, both of these lawyers who are here today are on my team of veterans treatment court providers. So I'm going to give you a break here today because you're a veteran. I'm going to order that you go over and sign up for your benefits today because you should not be. Are you homeless right now?
Yes.
Okay, there's no reason in the world for a vet to be homeless. We have emergency placement for all veterans. We can find you a place to live. We can find you a job. We can get you and we have the best alcohol and drug abuse treatment in the country.
And
So
the
you
best
can sign up
stroganoff
when
on
you go
Wednesday
to-
nights you'll
And you
ever
can
have.
remember this, VSO, a veteran service officer.
We got
will
our
get you
answer.
Enrolled in all the programs that you need to do over at the VA. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so what I'm gonna do here today
She's like,
is I'm going
I just
to
lied and I'm getting
just
out.
give you a break and sentence you to time served. But I am gonna order that you, within 48 hours, to go over to the VA and sign up for your benefits.
I gotta say,
If
I'm
you
kind
don't
of
do it within
shocked
48
by that.
hours, I'm gonna find out.
I
And I
get
can
it.
put you back in jail for 25 days and fine you up to $500 for contempt of court. You understand? I want you off the streets.
Okay, I will.
Okay, and I want you in a treatment program. It
What's
sounds to
true,
me
I've
like
heard
you
just
could use some drug and alcohol
nightmares
treatment.
about the way
Okay?
that the VA handles
Okay,
almost
any
everything.
questions?
No, ma'am.
You
I
know
have
what the VA is?
Yeah.
3 family members that deal with the
All
VA.
right, that's my order.
So
Good luck.
monthly.
you
I
know
mean,
what I mean.
it's not crazy bad, but it's not easy either. It's not the best. But financially, they do.
Jarvis Washington.
They
oh,
can
no,
take
he's,
very good care of
detoxing.
you if you
So,
qualify.
it looks like Ms. Spruell may have been our last candidate. My information is Jarvis Washington.
I
who
love
has
beef
3 matters
stroganoff,
here
but
this
not on
morning,
a 114
including
degree
one
day.
being suspended for 1 year.
See, that's
from
like my
Department
wife. I
3.
love chili.
2 other
And
matters
she's like, we
is
can't have chili. It's
detoxing, so we'll
summertime.
continue this
Yeah, I
matter.
ate
What?
poop the other day. And
Tomorrow
what
is
the hell
bail
am I
set on his
doing? It's
matters.
100 degrees out.
Yeah, but it's 72 in my house.
It looks like he has a petty larceny,
not eating it in the
obstructing and
front yard.
resisting, and a failure
Friends
to
of water
appear.
is rolled up.
Bail was set by me at $14.99, so I know he does have bail set. The other
All right,
matter
so
was
this person isn't
22
showing up. I've been
CR.
watching over here. This is
083.
I believe, a long-term thing. I just wanted to peep in and see what's going on. Plus, I don't recognize the courtroom, but it's actually Genesee 67th District.
Cheap
So,
ass chairs too. Look at those things.
yeah, I just wanted to see what was going on, if anything. Apparently, there's not even any volume.
Pump up the volume. Pump up the volume. You're going to sit there for a minute while I find another courtroom.
Yeah, no, I've been watching the festivities over here in my side eye, and it looked interesting, especially since it's part of the 67th district that we always.
They have so many. I mean, I didn't realize there's so many different courtrooms that are doing business on any given day. I mean, a lot. There's like 10 in this Reno one.
Does that really qualify for stroganoff?
Oh no, God no! For God's sakes, no. That's some bastardized, like stroganoff cousin.
Let's hope that they do a little bit of look into their before you get that military discount. Let's hope that they
Make
look
sure
into
she's
that.
not lying.
Yeah.
She kind of stumbled on the honorably discharged thing.
Yeah, she had a little bit of hesitation there. Eddie Stewart, good to see you.
Whether it be
sweet.
like AA or NA or inpatient thing.
Judge
I need
Stansberry.
help, but please, Mr. Your Honor, Stansberry, sir, pretty please let me go home to be with the love of my life. And this is my first apartment in my name, and it's a damn good feeling, Mr. Your Honor, sir.
How far along is
Mr. Your Honor, sir,
with the pregnancy?
She is 3 months total, and I found this out in jail. I know it's not funny. I'm not laughing in your face, sir.
I understand that. I understand that.
It's the greatest feeling in the world to be able to be a dad and not mess up.
Second best feeling.
I want to be there every step of the way, Your Honor, sir. And probation is the greatest thing you guys have ever done for me, even if I'd still, kind of disrespected program. It's the greatest thing I've ever been a part of. I love probation. I love
ever heard
of probation. It helps me. Please, Your Honor, pretty please with sugar on top. Please let me go home today, sir, to be with the love of my life and to be a man. Please, sir.
Please, sir.
Okay. They're recommending that you be screened for drug court.
Yeah, you guys denied me and it broke my heart. That's where all of this happened. I was declined for drug court, and I really wanted to show you my new coin that day from NA and AA. It broke my heart that you guys denied me. I really wanted to be a part of that.
What's your sobriety time? How much sobriety time?
I love court, Your Honor.
As of this moment, Your Honor, sir, I am 10 days on the clean side. I know that's not a lot, but
hey,
that's
better than 0 days.
like
so
this
congratulations on that. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Your Honor, Stansberry, sir. I wanted to show you my coin, but they denied me for lift court. I'm Mr. Your Honor, Stansberry, sir. I am an addict, sir. I do need help, sir, and I'm willing to take that help. But I would also,
sir,
within the same breath, sir, like to pretty please go home to be with that woman so I can show her that I'm a man. And to be a man, I will get any services that you guys recommend, Your Honor, Mr. Stansberry, sir. And I'll shut the hell up because I know you got other things to do, sir. Your Honor, sir.
So here's the deal. The recommendation from probation is for a $5,000 cash or your 10% bond. And I'm going to defer to them because they are more familiar with you than I am.
Fearless, you're a
you
member.
better
It's
than I
fine.
know
You come
a lot
and go
of
as you
defendants,
please.
just because of the number of interactions we've been having lately. So I'm going to leave the bond in that amount. Now, it can be reduced. What I strongly recommend you do, Mr. Dickerson, get an application for court-appointed counsel down there at the jail. If you're unable to post your bond, they will send it down here for you. If you are able to post your bond and you get out, then you have to turn it in. But if you're unable to post your bond, your attorney can petition the court, meaning me, to reevaluate whether or not your bond should be reduced. And of course, I would consider that upon a request. Today, I'm going to leave it in the recommended amount of $5,000 cash or your 10%. And obviously, no drinking, no drugs. And if you do post, you got to report to probation.
No
but we'll get
That's a lot
set
of
pretty
money.
fast, okay? So get that filled out today if possible. That way, we'll get an attorney on this for you, okay?
Okay, so just fill out the paper for a court attorney?
Yeah, and they have it down there.
Because I'm broke. Okay.
Okay.
And then that's it.
For today, that's going to be it because
But
I've
all
gone
the
ahead
money
and
on
entered
drugs,
a denial on your behalf. That leaves all your options open. If you decide you want to admit when you come back for your next stage hearing, you can do that, or you can hold them to their burden of proof by preponderance of the evidence. But either way.
Oh no! I definitely use drugs, and I definitely use. Yeah, I definitely did it. I'm not saying they're lying. I did that.
Okay. Well, just because I'm putting a denial on there today doesn't mean you're lying about it. It just means I'm leaving all your options in there for you. Okay. So that being said, I appreciate your decorum and your respect today. I will look forward to seeing you very soon. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Stansberry, Your Honor, sir. Have a good one.
Thank you, Mr. Dickerson. You as well.
One of the most polite drug addicts
Next we
I've
have
ever
Destiny
seen.
Huffman.
Really.
Good afternoon, Ms. Huffman. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, Ms. Huffman, you are here because the probation department has filed a motion to revoke your probation. Technically, it's a captioned motion for oral hearing. Did you receive a copy of that?
Yes, sir. I got sentenced to be placed back on probation for another year.
Well, the allegations here are that you used narcotics and didn't really conduct yourself appropriately. So you have a couple of options here. You can either admit to being in violation of your probation, which is like pleading guilty, or you can deny it, which is like pleading not guilty. If you admit, since I was the judge who sentenced you, I'll decide today what the consequence should be for your violation, which the most serious thing I could do is make you serve your suspended jail time, which is significant. I think it's about 177 days. If you deny, as I mentioned, kind of like pleading not guilty, I'll set a bond for you today, and then we'll have a contested hearing because the state has to prove the allegation by a preponderance of the evidence if you deny it. And either way, you have the right to an attorney, and you're eligible to ask the court to appoint one to represent you at no cost. So I guess my question is, do you want to have a lawyer on this?
I am innocent to whatever I was brought into on, because I was arrested inappropriately. I was assaulted, and then I was brought in and told I had a felony. I have no felonies as adult cases. All I have is domestic violence, and I have proof. You even gave me credited time served and suspended all the time rest for my domestic violence. And I was brought in because when I was at the hospital, somebody abused me at the hospital, and there was drugs in my system from it, and that's why I'm still placed back in here. And they already found whoever did that to me. And I'm innocent, so I don't even know why I'm sitting in here right now.
Why put drugs in her, Creed?
Oh.
Now, the note that I'm looking at says that you were arrested back on June the 9th for domestic.
Yes, and I already did my time for that, and I got released off of that, and I'm back on probation. I'm on probation for 365 days. Jordan Bernard's my probation officer.
Right. Well, I think he's saying there's a second separate domestic violence that got charged. You're saying that you don't think that's the case?
There was only one domestic I had, and then there was another one or whatever. I guess they showed up at my house on the 15th of June, came in my house, arrested me inappropriately. They tried to break my arm and everything. I had bruises all over me. I even showed them in the other courtroom that they said I had a felony. I have no felonies as adults. I never did anything wrong as an adult besides getting a fight because somebody jumped my sister, so I protected my sister.
Well, according to this, you had a bond hearing yesterday on this new felony. You've got a preliminary hearing scheduled for the 23rd, but it's reflecting that there is a third degree felony domestic charge currently pending over in common pleas court.
I don't know what that would be about.
Well, you even have a lawyer on it. A gentleman by the name of Philip Templeton has been appointed to represent you on that. So I'm assuming you haven't seen him yet?
No, I haven't. I had a appointment. I had a visit, but nobody let me out of my cell to do my visit.
Okay.
Hi.
Okay. All right. So, what's your address?
My address is 280 Warren Street.
280 Warren Street?
280 Warren Street.
Oh, Lawrence. I'm sorry.
Yes.
And that's in Newark, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is there anything you want to say about bond?
I think that I should be OR'd because I was placed in here inappropriately. And I have no clue why I'm still sitting in here. I was assaulted, brought in here, and then told I had a felony. I have no felonies as an adult. Jordan Bernard's my probation officer, and I was laying in a hospital bed, and somebody slid up underneath the thing, and there was drugs in my system.
Okay. Well, obviously,
under the thing and
I've
give you
gotten
the
a
drugs.
report from the probation department that gives a little bit more context to everything. There's a recommendation for a $5,000 cash or surety only bond. I'm not going to follow it completely because I'm going to make it a 10% bond as well, but I will set it in the amount of $5,000. Now, we're going to go ahead and get this scheduled for another hearing, and I'm going to recommend that you get an application for court-appointed counsel down there at the jail.
Here's the house, by the way. Seems fitting.
The house is nice. Definitely somewhere I could see her living.
Right on the tracks. Nice house there. Right next to the highway.
Easy access to the
Yeah.
street.
For mental health issues.
Mental health issues. I need some help with mental health issues. Bad.
I don't have the authority to order that, but definitely get in touch with the social workers down there at the jail. They can maybe make that happen. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Huffman, I will see you at your next court date, okay? You may go with the officer. Thank you.
All right, yeah. All right.
court can make that decision.
She does, but you got to wonder some of these people that come off
All right.
as if they've got a bad
Cameron Hill.
mental problem if you think it's all drugs.
Good afternoon, sir. Are you Mr. Hill?
Hello?
Are you Mr. Hill?
Yes, I am.
And Mr. Hill, do you understand your rights in
name
court today?
Yes, I do. I moved it out today.
Did you receive a copy of the complaint that was filed against you?
Still here.
Yes, I did. I left it out there. Can I go grab it real quick?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Well, the Newark Police Department.
anyone
No, you
that's
don't have to go
looking
get it.
to
I just need to
send
make sure that
stars
at some point you got a copy. The
on
Newark
Facebook.
Police Department is alleging that you, on the
gonna happen
26th day
right
of May
now.
of this year,
Apparently
within the city
we've-
of North Lincoln County, Ohio,
we've,
knowingly with the
got in
purpose to
trouble,
deprive the
Creed.
owner of property valued less than $1,000.
Oh, yeah?
and
Just
obtained or
dug
control over
deeper.
that property without consent. That's
We,
commonly known as theft. It's a first degree
We didn't
misdemeanor.
follow the
The
partner
maximum
monetization
penalty there is
policy.
up to a 180
But I've
day jail
requested
term and up to
another
$1,000
look at
So
our
how do you want to
case.
plead?
Not sure what we did.
I plead guilty.
Okay. Have you ever been in trouble before?
Well, hold on. Like to be honest, I exactly don't know what the incident was, but I do be like, I ain't gonna lie, I be stealing like some candy bars and throwing them in my bag when I steal stuff. So I don't know if it was for like something like that.
These
Well,
people
it's
have
not hard
diarrhea
for me
of
to
the mouth.
accept the guilty plea when you don't even know what they're talking about. See what I mean?
Yes, I know. I've been trying to ask people about this, and nobody can give me details. They said that you just got a misdemeanor petty theft charge. That's the only thing they told me.
So here's the deal. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf today. What's your address?
11050 Fancher Road,
And that's over. Is there a lot number there?
lot 217. Yes.
And that's in Westerville?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have transportation back and forth between Westerville and Newark?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Are you employed? Or do you go to school? What do you do?
I'm employed and I do school. I'm employed at THK Manufacturing in Granville, and I started working there probably about like 16 days ago, approximately. And I go to online school through
Nigel
Trekka.
Licking is one after.
Because I failed
Are
last
you
year.
getting your GED or is this for college classes?
Yes, it's for my high school diploma because I failed last year, so I'm just redoing this year.
So you made it. You actually made it all the way through all 12 grades, but you didn't.
I steal a lot of
That's what
donuts,
it
Your
was?
Honor.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Where'd you go to high school?
Tons of them.
Big Walnut High School. It's located in Sunbury.
You went to Big Walnut?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Whoa!
I was going to guess Central North or South. Westerville North, Westerville South, or Westerville
Big
Central?
Walnut.
Yeah, I've been to Central for like a year, and then I moved to with my grandma.
Well, I'm old enough to remember when there wasn't a Westerville Central High School. There was just North and South. And there's probably people older than me who remember when there was only one Westerville High School. So here's what we're going to do today, Mr. Hill. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. That means you're going to sign some paperwork promising to show up for future court dates. We'll send the notices of when that court date is going to be to your address. So make sure that
Like
the
the
address
first
is
dude
correct
was one of the
and
most
complete.
normal
It's
people
on the
we've
bond
seen
paperwork that you're going
ever.
to sign down there, including your
they're
lot number.
always
Does the mail come in the
wound
trailer
up,
park or
man.
do you have a P.O. box?
It comes to like a mailbox in the trailer park. Yes.
So make sure we have the full, complete address. You're eligible to
It's a
ask the
big,
court to
giant
appoint an
box,
attorney
and
to
we all got
represent you.
keys.
It's not like Franklin County where the public defender just magically appears. You have to actually do a little bit of work over
Mailman
here.
said he'll
If
never
you can
come
get
down
the
in the
application form from the jail. Since I'm cutting you loose, they're not going to send it down here for you. So it'll be your job to get that taken care
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
And by the way, you
I-
have the right to ask for what's called discovery, which the prosecutor would have to give you any evidence they intend to use against you. But you can also just come down to the clerk's office at the municipal building and ask them for a copy of the court file, and you'll get a copy of the police reports, any witness statements.
I'd like to ask him what the first thing
anything
he's
that
going
the
to steal
police
when he gets
generated
out
during the course of
here
their
in about an
investigation,
hour.
so you can know a little
Some
bit more about what
donuts
these
and
accusations
candy.
are. All right.
Thank you. I don't really know much about this, but like, thank you for.
All right. Well, good luck to you, Mr. Hill. You'll be
Nah,
notified by
Darren,
mail the
he-
next court date. If you have no further
Couldn't
questions,
help
you may go with
himself.
the
He had to
officer.
read all of the
All right. Thank you.
very
Thank you.
odd
Have a good day,
wording
sir.
You do
or
the same.
lack thereof.
And we have
about
Mackenzie
Facebook.
Wheeler.
Oh man. I'm just going through and it's like
Good afternoon,
kidding
Ms.
me?
Wheeler.
Yes.
And Ms. Wheeler, do you understand your rights in court today?
Yes.
You
Looks
are
pretty
here
normal.
because visiting Judge Brandt, who is visiting for Judge
Means you're
George,
out.
issued a warrant for your
Like a
arrest
personal.
about a year ago,
Own
June the
reconnaissance.
24th
Mean
of last
no
year. The
unpaid.
warrant went out. You had a jury or a bench trial scheduled on this theft charge on June the 22nd.
Oh,
of
I
last year.
call.
So when you didn't show up, that prompted them to issue a warrant. Today, all we're going to do is set a bond because I don't have any authority to resolve your case. You have to see Judge George to do that. Understand? Okay, so the $64,000 question is, why didn't you show up for court?
I'm not sure why I didn't show up.
Have you been
Brilliant.
incarcerated at any time in the past year?
No, I've never been in jail before.
So where did the police pick you up yesterday?
Well, I had a warrant because obviously I missed the court date, but from Giant Eagle, from a theft from Giant Eagle, from stealing groceries. But they picked me up at a boyfriend's house yesterday, and just when they ran my name, the warrant came up, so they immediately.
Why were the police at your boyfriend's house?
They had a search warrant.
Oh, but it wasn't related to you?
No.
Okay. It's usually not a good sign being in a house that's subject to a search warrant.
Right.
Collateral damage.
970 West Church Street, Newark, Ohio.
Don't you
And
just
you
hate
actually
when you
live
get
there, or do you
arrested
just use that as a
when
mailing
you're supposed
address?
to be getting
No,
arrested?
I live there with my mom and my sister.
Are you employed?
Yes.
Where do you work?
At Kroger.
Okay.
Yeah, so you go to Giant Eagle to
Would've been
steal?
ironic if you said Giant Eagle. All right. Well, Miss Wheeler, I'm going to
She's a
cut you a break
Kroger
today, even though Judge
saboteur.
Grant set a bond at $2,500 cash surety or 10%.
Put 'em out of
I'll go ahead
business.
and release you on your own recognizance today, but I do want to make one thing clear. If you fail to appear in the future for court dates and then you get picked up on a warrant again and you
take
see
it back.
need for a new bond, it's not going to be an OR bond next time.
We've seen. I mean,
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
that's, for the
This
licking,
case
this
is pretty old. It's from April of 2019.
I will.
Correct.
All right.
So it needs to be resolved one way or another. We sent you a court-appointed attorney application way back in April of 2020. I don't know whether anybody has ever gotten on this. Oh yeah, you had Dave Barth. Let me
It's
see.
like
if he was-
Facebook is
Let me see if
got
he's
us in
technically
jail.
still on it.
So this is the
I
only
don't
place
think
we'll
he's
take
ever
stars now.
withdrawn. So what I'm
Oh,
going to
really?
do is I'm going to provide that he get a copy of this entry. That way he'll know that you're back in play.
That's
He
right.
can reach out
Thank
to you.
you,
But
Jay.
seriously, you need to stay in close contact with your attorney. If you wait until the day of trial to talk with him, things will not turn out well. I can assure you of that. Understand?
Okay, I understand.
Do you
Thank
mean
you.
right now or when she
All
was
right.
at her
So,
boyfriend's house?
You'll get noticed by mail of your next court date. It should come from your attorney because
'Cause she
he's
does
going to be
have sex
notified by the judge's office. So, any questions today, Miss Wheeler?
No, sir.
Make it to court. All right.
Thank you.
Very well. You may go with the officer. Sue, that's all I've
Thank
got
you.
on my list that are down there with you. Did I miss
Hey,
anyone?
That's it.
Three
Okay.
years in the
That's it.
clear.
See you Friday.
Good deal. We'll see you on Friday. Thank you.
Now we got to see the people
All
in
right,
the
folks,
courtroom.
thanks for your patience. I appreciate that. When I call your name, you're going to come up here to the bench right in front of me. I'm going to ask for your rights in court form. That's the one that should have your initials in the boxes next to each paragraph. Your signature at least once at the end.
Oh, they got more
And
high
then
and
after
I-
verifying that at some point you got a copy of your ticket or your complaint, you'll need to enter a plea. You can do three things. You can plead not guilty, you can plead guilty, or you can plead no contest. If you plead no contest, even though you're not admitting you're guilty, you're admitting that what they say happened is true. And if what they say happened is enough to cook your goose, I'm going to find you guilty today. So if you don't want that to happen, plead
Throwing
not
all,
guilty.
all the
okay?
analogies to
In the
that.
event that
like
you do that, your case gets randomly assigned to a judge, set for a trial, and until and unless an attorney gets involved, all those notices will go directly to you. And
Please,
as an
wherever
aside,
you're watching this
and I
at,
probably
give us a
could have
like.
said this to Ms. Wheeler.
Appreciate that.
We live in the age of information. Most everybody has a cell phone that has access to the internet. Everybody has the ability to go down to a library and log on to the internet for free. We have a website in which you can track your own case to see when your next court date is. So there's legit no reasonable excuse to miss court because you didn't know when it was. So, you know, you're sitting here in a courtroom. There's only 3 people in this room right now who are getting paid to be here. It's not a pleasant experience for most folks, but you are where you are and you got to get this thing taken care of. So today we're going to start off with Greg Smith.
Greg Smith, come on down. Let's see what Greg did.
Come on all the way up here, Mr. Smith.
Get a move on,
All right.
Greg.
Did you watch the video about your rights?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand the information? Yes. All right. Ms. C, you're
Oh, yeah.
here for Mr. Palmer, I believe.
Yes.
And
He's an attorney.
Judge George issued a
Yeah.
warrant for Mr. Smith's arrest at the end of last month for failing to appear for a pretrial.
I'm not
You wish
surprised.
to address bond.
Yes, we are hoping for an OR bond today, Your Honor. Mr. Smith informed me that he did not receive the letter that we sent about his pretrial date. He is about to start a new job over at Texas Roadhouse, so we're hoping to stay out of jail today. I'm going to try and get his
Texas Roadhouse.
Okay. And Mr. Smith, what is your current address?
598 Glenbrook Drive.
Glenbrook?
Yes, sir.
All one word?
Yep.
City and state?
Newark, Ohio.
And who do you live there with?
I'm on the list is mine.
Okay. Do you live with anybody else?
No,
No.
not currently.
Okay.
Swing and sing. Oh,
All right.
that big feller come from?
22.
God, Creed just missed out on watching that guy walk across the room. Neck bone head. Just do it, getting a steps in. What is he doing?
TAMMER. Yes. All right. So here's what we're going to do, Mr. Smith. You're going to be released on your own recognizance since you voluntarily appeared here today. Sounds to me as if Ms. C might try to arrange for you to be seen by Judge George today. Whether or not that happens, I don't know. If it doesn't, your attorney's going to get notice of your next court date.
It's Ohio.
It's important you stay in close touch with them. And everything I just said to everybody there at the beginning about being able to look up your own information, it applies to you as well. Okay. Yes, all right. So any questions? No, anything further, Ms. C? No, thank you. All right. Very well. You may go with the bailiff. Thank you. Sorry. Okay.
Picking
Next
up
up
dirty
today is going to
plates
be Sarah Swanger.
At Texas Roadhouse before we know.
Didn't
guys.
recognize you.
Oh,
Do you
damn.
understand your rights?
Yes.
All righty. Did you get a copy of your ticket?
I did.
Did you read it? You understand what you got charged with?
Yes, sir.
Looks like you got charged with driving under a license forfeiture based upon your previous driving record. They are not alleging that you have at least 2 prior convictions within the preceding 3 years. So for that reason, this is an unclassified misdemeanor. Carries no possible jail term, just the possibility of community service hours, a fine, and a suspension of your right to apply for a license for up to a year. So how do you want to plead?
I'm going to go ahead and plead no contest because, the facts are true.
Okay.
However, I would like to ask, previously, the only reason why I couldn't pay the payment or whatnot, the DMV, I guess.
I saw it.
any amount
And
of payment.
don't be bummed about
If
that.
you've
There's
taken
no
care
way
of all of
that,
the active
that
suspensions and forfeitures, and the
they
only thing you
can't
have left is
go back and
reinstatement
look at
fees,
that.
you can get on a payment plan with them, and they'll give you.
I have a
limited
feeling
driving.
someone
But you have to take care of
that
all your
doesn't
active
like us
suspensions and forfeitures
reported
first.
us.
I see I
I-
have that, and then for some reason, I always
Did you read the part where it said with limited?
Yeah.
Ticket. So I
No,
owe $200 to the court.
not at all.
I guess
So
I have
we
to
don't
send-
shut up.
Yes, so I have to send
Okay.
you back out another letter to ask to pay my fines out of order here.
Okay.
And I can pay
You can
that.
do that today before
You
you
got to
leave.
remember that's
Looks
all.
like you've got that open forfeiture that's there. Then you've got a reinstatement
review?
that you owe on
Review.
an old FRA suspension, and it looks like
2 to 3
that's
days,
it.
it says.
So you're really not that far off from being able
Oh,
to get
it'll
a
be a
valid
while.
license. Are you working these days?
I just had a baby. I have an 18-month-old.
Congratulations.
Yeah, my oldest is 18 and child support for it too for him. So
Well,
yeah, I'm going back to work here.
And
You know you're gonna be
next time, we got to bring that level down because you can't. I don't know how you
Alright.
guys can hear it.
Everything
I
else
can
going all right,
barely
though?
hear anything
Yeah.
of
Lost my
us
mom last
when
year,
that
though.
girl was up.
I think I knew that.
She said,
We're-
"I love you
it's
people.
so- it
I'm
was
out of
so
here.
high.
She's not dealing with us another year. But my little one, I didn't
But
even
he's
see
so
her.
low
My
and she's
mom's
so
dad,
low right
her names together.
Uh huh.
Yeah, that's nice.
And see, I've got
How
it
is
turned
your
down
dad?
because I turned it down. I was like, this seems a little loud.
He's,
Is he still working at the ball field?
No, he's at transit, retired from transit. and
Oh, he did. Okay.
just-
Okay, so
yeah,
that's how he
broken
knows her.
arm.
He knows her from the ball
Guy
field
has a broken arm, but he's all right.
because he said,
It
"Oh, I
sounds
didn't
like he's had a
recognize
run
you."
of bad luck.
Yeah, he has.
All right.
Why don't you get
Okay,
your
you've had a
license?
number of prior convictions for license-related offenses, so I'm going to make it a $200 fine in court costs. The Chevy, the Equinox, was that yours or somebody else's?
It's someone else's.
And they keep insurance on it, right?
Yeah, he has
Okay.
insurance and all that.
Speaking of the
Enough for me.
ballpark,
I
I just watched these
Jackson and
from the
Katie,
Little League
yeah.
World Series where the kids
Alrighty,
got
well,
their,
I'll go ahead
championship
and impose the
takeaway.
$200 fine and cost. I'm not going to suspend your right to
Cheating?
apply for a license, and I'll reflect the proof of insurance.
Cheated.
If satisfied.
Yes.
Fill out your application. Your
I
request, your
watched
written
some of
request
that
today to pay out of
myself.
order, and then that'll come to me. All right.
Yes,
Unless it comes to
yesterday,
Judge
which
George.
is weird.
I don't, does
Really?
George usually grant
Yes.
this, Mr. Latella?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I always do, just because.
That's strange.
I
want
just
your
watched
license.
it yesterday because I
All
was
right.
like,
Well, good luck with everything.
"How you cheat?" And then I
Heath High
went
stands.
back and watched. They basically built a team.
Yeah, from
Best
surrounding, like way
Come
outside
on
of
up,
their
Mr. High
thing.
stand. You understand your rights in court
Best
today?
players they could find.
All
on
right.
the bench.
Show up on my
So-
algorithm.
Just watch that yesterday. That's
Okay,
so weird.
We'll do a
I
not guilty
just
plea.
watched it
You
before
have
we went
counsel
live.
of record.
Yeah.
Ms.
30
Green
minutes
was
of
appointed.
documentary.
Unfortunately, she
Yeah.
experienced some medical issues,
Yeah.
so I'm not going to get into any particulars, but you definitely want to try to get in touch with her office to find out. My understanding is that she's trying to
What do you
get
think
off
that
the
M
cases
is? That the
she's
start of a
currently on, so
word?
it's very possible you may have a new attorney appointed to
I
represent.
believe that
I
is
apologize.
sports.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was at 8 o'clock. And now I
I
don't
was
know
thinking
where
maybe
I'm
he had a
supposed to be at
tramp stamp that
12:45.
went down his back.
He's a very
you were supposed to be
compassionate judge,
here
by
at
the way, and-
12:45.
but also straight to the
originally
point.
you were somebody to come
Right?
in on
He
May the
likes to move.
26th. My
Yeah,
hunch
I
tells
got
me
to
you
do.
requested
with a lot.
a
I
continuance.
apologize.
Oh, yeah, I see that now. I'm sorry to hear
Big
that.
crowd today.
Certainly have
I'm
my
glad everybody's
condolences.
here. Thank you so much.
He was
We do
young,
this
too. Almost
5
70
days a
years
week. If you're new here,
old. All right. Are you working these days?
Yes.
What are you doing?
painting and landscaping.
All right.
That,
And,
of course he does.
address?
For his dad.
73
All right,
Chestnut
that's a
Street,
Michigan
Newark, Ohio.
thing, isn't it?
That's what I thought
Yeah,
too.
you
I was
don't
like,
know
well,
really
we're
how much
in
people really
Ohio.
are
Yeah,
hungry
Michigan
for
or
stuff when a person-
MISSISSIPPI.
Unfortunately, loss is a part of life. And,
I thought maybe it was
we've
like
all
it started
experienced
right
some of it
there.
in our
I'll have to
life, and,
hold on. I'll have to
you know,
draw.
There
it
are
for you.
others, some that are worse than others, and obviously you find that out now. You're going to be released on your own recognizance.
That's what I thought it was about.
Attorney record. She's going to get notice
and
of
it
future
wasn't.
court dates, so it's important to stay in touch with her.
And see, we used to get
them.
when I was in
And as
high
I said,
school
you can
during the
check
summer,
their
they would bus us all
Any other
there to
questions?
the Little League
I'll
World
tell you what,
Series.
just have to see where you were before the bell's
It
going
was
to be
awesome. It was right up the road, half an hour, 35 minutes from where I grew up.
All right, next we have. Oh, you have another case.
We used to buy.
It's right down the spine. Says
You've got
mom's
driving
right.
under an ALS suspension,
And we used to
yield
buy
right-of-way and
boxes
petitions
from,
vote,
and you would slide
Okay,
down the
so
hill
that's
with
what
the
you were talking
boxes
about.
like as if it was
yeah, that was going to be for actually that was scheduled for this morning at 8 a.m. But that doesn't matter. You wanted you not guilty, please, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I don't have to come tomorrow then. Since
No. Well, ask the clerks to make sure you don't have any other
Is that
cases. out
Jake
there.
the Snake Roberts sitting by the door back there? It really looks like him. Right there on the left, picking in the ear.
They're claiming that it's an ALS suspension, and if that's in fact the case, and I can't see because they put their stupid file stamp over there, that's an M1 and does carry mandatory minimum jail time. So I mean, you're going to want to fill out a new application for court-appointed counsel for this one. All right. All right. So.
you said it's a mandatory minimum. Well,
Yeah, depending on whether or not you've
That's
had
my
prior suspension.
favorite
If you have-
shot when
if
it
you've never
goes
been
to
convicted
that
of driving under that type
empty
of a
chair.
suspension within the last 6 years,
M for
then the
Magic
mandatory minimum is
Mike.
3 days. It
Yes.
goes up if you have
It's like a
prior
hot
offenses.
stripper.
All right. And oddly enough, unlike the OVI itself,
Does it
there's
say
no
rider?
end to the jail time.
I could say MILF lover. It really could say a lot of things.
And
Good.
fictitious.
Can you take your shirt off, please, sir?
fictitious.
You do need
chance
to
for you
explain
to pull
anything
it
today.
back.
That'll get taken care of down there.
Oh, he does have a teardrop.
Okay, so OR
For
bond
you.
on this one as well. All right.
That means he
It may
cries a
be. This
lot.
will get randomly assigned to a judge and set for a trial. Looks like that one, you just did your arraignment today. So even though Judge George approved your application for counsel, it's going to get spun for as well. They could, one or both could end up with me, or one or both could end up with Judge George. Just keep your eye on the mail. Any other questions? All right, now you can go ahead and have a seat.
Yeah. It's me laughing.
All right, Jessica Peck.
Don't you know the Muffin Man?
Ooh, Jessica dressed up.
Peck, come
Hey
on up.
now.
Understand your rights in court today? May I have your rights form, please? Thank you.
He's like, why are you wearing that mask?
You
Are
have two
sick?
cases. You have one from
Analyze her tattoo.
June
now.
10th, and you have another one from September the 5th of 2016. Okay. So that one from 2016 is a seatbelt violation. The maximum penalty that you face is a fine of up to $30. Now, since you never dealt with that, this
Booker,
court will order
Dado.
what's called a license forfeiture. Although they've cited you in
'Cause she
this
didn't
new
pay for
charge
the
with both
seatbelt
speeding on 67 and a 55.
In 2016.
Driving
30
under a
bucks.
license-
She's
Take
had
her
to
to jail.
forfeit. She's had to
Now,
forfeit
based
her
upon your
license.
previous driving record, that
Take her to
driver's license
prison.
charge is an unclassified misdemeanor. It doesn't carry any possible jail time. You face a maximum fine of $150 on the speed, and then, as I said, with the seatbelt, it's up to $30.
Know
So
the Muffin Man.
let's
right?
talk about the seatbelt first. How do you want to plead to that?
Guilty.
And how do you want to plead to the speeding and the license? charge?
Guilty.
Okay.
Oh,
You-
the license I didn't know because I had moved from Columbus to Newark, so I was unaware that they were suspended. But
The
Yeah.
Bureau is required to send you notice at your last known address, and if all you did
Yeah.
was put on a forwarding thing with the post office and it didn't get forwarded, you're still deemed to have been served.
yeah,
So that's why you got to keep a current mailing address on file with the Bureau at all times. As far as your guilty plea is concerned, you realize that you, in fact, are actually presumed to be innocent. The state has the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt, and you have a right to a trial. Understand?
yeah.
If you plead guilty, you admit that
Take
you
it
did
to
it.
trial.
Prove anything, and you're going to give up your right to a trial. Do
You
understand
think
that,
they're
sir?
going to be able to prove she
And,
was
are you a citizen of the
wearing a
United States?
wasn't wearing a
All right.
seatbelt in
Do you work?
2016?
What do you do?
No, but I literally just moved back here like a week ago.
Now, are you
so-
from here originally and moved to Columbus and
Yeah.
then moved back?
Yeah.
Okay. And what brought you back?
Wear your
Because
seatbelt.
my
and
mom's sick, so
Girls
she
back and
needs
forth.
help taking care of her.
So that's what your primary responsibility is going to
Yeah.
be for now, is take care of
Her
her.
and my kids.
And yeah, I was going to say, who's your lawyer over there?
My daughter, she's too busy trying to sleep.
How old are you?
Oh my God.
You're 11? All right. Are you trying to take a nap?
Why'd your mom not run a brush through her hair?
Nicole, I believe that was about $85.
All right. How many kids?
2,
And how old's the other one?
10.
Okay. So pretty close together in age.
That was a bedside
Me
Boy or-
6
boy
and
or
me
girl?
8. Boy, one of each.
Okay. You get along with your brother okay? That's all right. No, but you're not supposed to.
They fight
She's
over
wearing a mask, but the
everything.
kids over there
Mm.
maskless.
Okay.
Yeah, that's because you're a lawyer, right?
So the
kid.
speed, you do have a
Kid's a
prior
lawyer.
moving. But that's just
Attorney.
seatbelt, so we're not going to count that.
Only time I spent a night in jail is because
According to our
I
traffic
was in Myrtle
schedule,
Beach on
12
vacation.
over is
And I
going to
didn't pay a
cost you
ticket for my
$24
loud
for a
stereo.
speeding violation. You do
10
have, I
years
think, one
later.
prior driver's license related conviction.
Creedence con.
No, you don't.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so that means that's $100
It's a rough
on
night.
the driver's license charge. I'll order that you pay the court costs, and it looks like you showed your proof of insurance, so you don't have to worry about the bureau coming after you again. And then on the seatbelt violation from almost 10 years ago, it'll be a $30 fine. And I'll order that you pay the court costs for that action as well. But we will give you time to pay off your fines and costs. What is your current address?
470 New Haven.
Okay. Make sure
Do you
that we
think
have
that's
the
why she
correct
went to
address
Massey's
because
a gummer?
the way that the court would communicate with you if necessary in the future would be through the mail. So any other questions today? All right, he's going to take you
Do
down to the
that
clerk's
now
office here
in
in a
North
moment.
Carolina.
But if you
That
wanna,
is a
join
automatic
your,
suspension.
your
of
daughter over
license.
there. We'll get you down there in a minute.
You do
Good luck.
15 over and a 55.
All right, Brianna Hinkle. So apparently we found out after we handled things this morning that you actually have a warrant.
Subway.
Or no.
Eat fresh. Constantly refreshing because their stuff's so shitty.
I did have a pretrial with Zach yesterday.
Refresh and
I was
refresh.
confused, like I didn't realize that I had
Sure.
this was separate, so I do apologize.
Sure.
She smells
Well,
like
and this is an
fresh
arraignment,
baked
so
bread,
No.
you understand your rights in court,
Truly.
correct?
onions,
You have your rights form?
and bologna.
Thank
Sweet
you.
onion sauce. I'll
And
leave my
then,
wife.
did you get a copy of your ticket?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you don't have to
Sounds
show it to me.
legit.
I need to verify that you got a copy. Did you read it? Do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes.
So you've been charged with failing to maintain an assured clear distance ahead. In essence, they're saying that you were traveling at a speed which prevented you from being able to stop before coming into contact with a person or an object in front of you. That's a minor misdemeanor. The maximum penalty is a $150 fine. You've also been charged with driving under a 12-point suspension. They're alleging that you amassed 12 or more points, that your license was suspended as a consequence of that, and that you drove anyway. Now, that is a first-degree misdemeanor. It's up to 180 days in jail, up to a $1,000 fine. Oddly enough, there's no provision for a license suspension upon a conviction for that.
So
However, there's a mandatory minimum jail term of 3 days, and that's the actual 3 days in jail. There's no alternative to that. Understand? So how do you want to plead here?
Did you just say ran a guy over?
All right. And what is your address?
It's the same one that
Almost.
you did. It's 1420 Londondale Parkway, apartment 401B.
Remember the time we were coming back from Myrtle Beach in the Durango and we had to stop at Wilmington? 'Cause
That's
I didn't know if we could make
Say
it
something
home.
else?
I just had a question.
Go
For
ahead.
the 3 days in jail, like, because I manage a Subway.
I'm aware of
I
that.
know. Sorry.
Unemployed at Subway.
But would
I
would
get you
I be
all
able
the
to
sandwiches you
For
want,
work
baby.
release, I don't know because, quite frankly, I don't see a lot of 12-point suspensions.
some soccer this morning.
But that's something you want to definitely ask Zach because it fill out.
car last fall and I got 6
12 points.
Okay.
She's got 12 points on her license.
She
So
should
you
be
showed
fine.
your proof of insurance
Imagine
here.
her-
at least,
Yes,
yeah.
Insurances?
Oh, I
Well,
couldn't
go ahead
imagine.
and submit your application for counsel. Fill out a new one, but if you want Zach to help you with this, make sure you put his name at the
Oh,
top.
I paid for that.
Oh, okay. Well, then very well. But
David said,
look
yeah,
at David.
Facebook gonna F you over. Here you go, baby.
Unless he
Take
makes
that.
Facebook notices are going to go directly to you. Understand?
Thank you, David.
Very well. So, any other questions? This will get
Everybody
randomly
do like
assigned to a judge and no warrant. All right. Okay, you can go ahead and see where you were before. The bail's going to be with you in a moment. And that brings to Mr. Noble.
Fred, why would
Noble
you
or
do that?
Nobel? I
to
can never
yourself?
remember.
Either or.
What do you call it?
Noble.
Noble. All right, come on up, Mr. Noble.
Noble Roman's Pizza.
You
ladies
understand
and
your rights?
gentlemen. Little nice balls.
Yes.
Jake the Snake Roberts.
So, I believe we're here because there's some warrants outstanding, possibly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. This one's from Judge George. It looks like there's a
Judge
pretrial
George.
what, last month.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you've got another one, Judge George, where I think it was a pretrial.
You're wanted for murder, it says here. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, last month. Well, you voluntarily
What was
appeared
the
here today.
Date on that.
On
See,
the,
'cause I called the clerk's office last month and they told me the 6th. So I was
well,
like,
that was your
okay.
jury trial, but your pretrial is on May the
And I
25th.
didn't know they didn't say nothing about that.
Okay.
So then when I called to make sure it was the 6th on June 2nd or
sweet
whatever. they said,
ringlets
"Okay,
there on the
so
back of
then,
his shirt.
um,
Very beautiful horror.
Now, Mr. Itam, who had been appointed to
Watermelon.
represent you, filed motions to withdraw his counsel of record. So technically right now, you do not have an attorney.
Right.
Okay.
What happened there was he showed me a letter. He had a letter and he said, you
Yes,
need to mail me a return. And I said, yeah. I said,
God
trying to get that straightened out, and which I think I have for the moment,
He
temporarily.
kind of looks like
Sam's going to letter. The next day was court, and I didn't know that.
Okay.
So and
I think he hangs out with this guy.
called, when I tried to call him back, I don't know. He don't
Yes.
calls or something. secretary told me.
Get off my property.
Unfortunately, yeah, he withdrew. And
Well-
he advised me what to do on this particular case here. So I was going to set a trial. I was going to,
I think he should be his own attorney.
Next
I
one,
mean,
I have
that's just me.
coming up,
though.
I was going to try to get another court appointed.
Okay, just make sure you fill out an application today before you go. All right.
There's a couch somewhere missing its bum right now.
You remember all the?
He's the kind of guy that just goes out for a walk and just sits underneath the.
Oh, were you here for that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Shit's a
Well,
giggle.
when I left, I made a comment as a deer advocate. You know, I'm still
Our guys, that true?
One day I'm walking.
Are points different in
deer comes
Ohio?
out on the path,
Wow,
and
that's
I
a lot.
Trees, and between me and her comes a baby deer,
Mhm.
and he runs up to me and lays down. So I start backing up, and she takes off. And since then, I've been raising a baby deer in the woods. where I
Really?
live, and trying to get it back to its mom. but-
Interesting.
He's
All
raising
right,
a
so here's what we're
baby
going to do.
deer.
Because you showed up here voluntarily today to address this, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. In both cases, we call the warrants. These will get referred back to Judge George's office. He'll get those
stands up,
reset.
pulls a
Until
Hulk
and unless a
Hogan.
new attorney gets involved on your behalf, I'll notice they're going to go directly to you. And again, you can check online for your own
Okay,
case too.
and then there was going to pay some money on the fines, $300.
Okay.
And they said they couldn't take those while the warrants were active. So I don't
I
know.
always take money, but
See the-
for fines and costs, let's make sure that the record reflects that. That's not bad. No. I've never heard him say that before, but now you no longer have warrants, so they shouldn't be a problem. If you need to be paying your fine, like if you want to pay fines on like newer cases because it's affecting your license, you have to submit a written request to be able to pay your fines out of order. So
Okay, well, these are actually, it does have to do with my license, but they are older, so they
Okay.
would be the first.
Okay.
They're in order.
yeah, we always apply it to the oldest case first.
Okay, and so after I pay those fines, what I wanted to know is how long will it be before I should, approach the bureau with taking care of their aspect of it?
What'll happen is
So they got me on 17, they got me for forfeiture for a year, and I can't do that.
So the way it works is once you've taken care of your obligation to this court, they will prepare an entry that terminates that license forfeiture. They
Because
send
he
it to the
said
Bureau
that
of
he'd
Motor
never
Vehicles,
seen
and
nobody
they
in
process
front of
it.
him that had
I would
12
say
points.
probably no
Yeah,
more
so it
than
can't be
a
that
week or
easy to
so.
get at the
You
judge.
get it taken care of. But
The judge
ask
has
the
never
clerk to
seen
them
somebody
over
with
there.
12
But no
points in
problem,
front
I'm
of him.
just getting
And
rides
still
here,
driving,
you
sure.
know,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, well, any other questions?
No warrants right now. And then and
Not-
I'll get a
not
new
on these
court- I'll get a new
cases.
court date.
You'll get a new court date, and until a lawyer shows up on your behalf, it's coming straight to you.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right, I believe that's everybody. So the court's going to stand in recess. Have a good day, everybody. All right.
Well, ain't that something?
You have a great day, Judge.
Judge, thank you as always for some of the greatest stuff that ever happens in court. Over to Calhoun, 37th Circuit, room 474. I have no idea what's going on. We'll just check in and see. And it's well,
Creed? Are we only going to court? Muted courtrooms today.
This is the Secretary of State, 2022-902 AL. I do have petitioner Shannon Dingy here with Attorney Bartell. On behalf of the Secretary of State, we have Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Gary Matthews for a driver's license restoration hearing.
oh,
Okay, good afternoon again. to
how many
all of
points
you,
did you
and,
have, honey?
Mr.
Maybe it's not
Bartell,
her.
you can proceed if you wish to do so.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll try to keep my argument to a minimum because I know you.
Oh,
do
that
a
means
good
he's going to
job
go
reviewing the
on
material
and
beforehand.
on.
I do believe, though, pursuant to MCL 257.323, that the hearing officer's decision was not supported by competent material and substantial evidence on the whole record, and or was otherwise arbitrary and capricious. In this particular
Speak
matter,
English, please, Aaron.
my client has done a pretty good job, I think, abstaining from alcohol.
What are you doing using your big school words? Just use normal people words and I'll understand what you're talking about.
It wasn't 100% clear, but when you look at the whole record, it appears that it was about 20 years or so that she abstained from alcohol, except for about 5 years ago, she had a moonshine cherry at a concert where her brother had passed those around, and she got really sick from it. And as the evidence was that she knew she cannot have any alcohol whatsoever. I don't equate that
cherry?
moonshine cherry, not that it's a good thing, but I would not equate that
cherry
drinking.
No, a cherry.
in the
You put
traditional
cherries
sense.
into moonshine.
It's not like she had
and then you eat the
she went to
cherry.
bar and had 4 or 5 beers and that kind of thing. I would
Why
say
would he bring that
Cherry.
up?
two things from that. Number one, she was honest. She didn't have to admit that. She was showing her honesty. Number two, like I said, it shows that she cannot drink. I can tell you that even though it's not perfect, the 2 times that she had an operating under the influence, it was a very low alcohol blood content. It was not super drunks or anything like that. And her convictions were when she was younger. It was back in 1990, I believe it was the 7 and 2001 were her convictions. And the set of circumstances surrounding that was she admits she was young and stupid. She thought she was
Full of what?
invincible. And the second thing is she had lost her mother who was murdered. And so somewhat understandably, someone in that situation, she admits that she didn't know how to really deal with the situation. And she's in a much better situation now where she has seen a therapist, even if things happen in her life and has.
Drunk as a skunk.
I don't like that look on her
My
face.
client would not drink
I don't
by
either.
herself. This shows that she didn't have a dependence on alcohol, rather a social drinker. The people she surrounds herself with now is not drinking or not drink much. Her husband just drinks a few times a year. Based upon the diagnostic impression of Travis Washington, my client had met 2 of 11 DSM-5 diagnostic criteria for alcohol use disorder within a 12-month period during her lifetime. My client has a low probability of having a substance dependence disorder.
From
and
one
she has
cherry.
a good prognosis ongoing for abstinence.
Abstinence from sex?
I
Or?
would indicate
If you have to, Creed. I mean, it helps with the
to
drinking.
this court, the odd thing in this case, Your Honor, and I would point to page 30 of the transcript.
Oh,
is that
sure.
The hearing officer's view was that my client was in sustained abstinence and was going to remain abstinent. However, then
He was a
was not
0.29
He may obey the law
during the day.
while on the road. So the remedy of the hearing officer was to put an ignition interlock device, which is supposed to help determine if someone
Thank you,
has
James,
been
my
drinking
buddy.
prior to them driving. But remember, he's not concerned about that. So basically, the
He's not a
hearing
very
officer
smooth
under the
talker.
facts and circumstances in this matter that do not make any sense with what he even found in the case himself. As such, we would ask
I don't
that
think
you
so,
remove the
Georgia.
requirement of the ignition interlock device.
Wait till Gary gets on the
I can
scene.
tell the court such devices are very finicky,
Gary's over there putting on
unnecessary given the
him
record in this
gloves,
case.
about to whoop some
With this
ass.
hearing officer, even with what he found, it's an undue cost and burden on my client to have that in place. So we'd ask that such requirement be lifted.
She's covering up all her tattoos. She's got
I
a bunch of stars down her side.
Sheriff Bartel, do
Does she have
wish
an
to
M back
address
there,
the
too?
issue of the restricted license?
Yes, Your Honor. I think the same goes with that, though, Your Honor. I think this hearing officer.
She ate a cherry and got a doing.
This hearing officer obviously had enough on
Seriously.
the record that, like I said, that felt like she wasn't going to go back to drinking and hence drinking and driving. But put additional requirements in place. I think what he struggled with was one time my client had testified she did go out
Mongo's
driving
mom.
because she works for a nonprofit that she had started up. It was late at night. She had to go get rescue birds, and there was that incident.
Why didn't you say that?
I
She
think
had to go
that's
get
what-
rescue birds. Of course, she got drunk.
But I don't think that these additional requirements really do much of anything to get at the heart of his concern. They are just more of an obstacle, an undue burden in this situation. I don't think you can rationally reconcile the two. So I would ask for that restriction and so to be lifted, that she has no restriction on her
He's still
license.
going.
I'm guessing that cherry was the size of a grapefruit.
Yes, Your Honor, I'd just like to say that based
Hey,
on
Gary.
Ms. Dungy's record, if she does drink and drive and has another incident, could be very catastrophic in nature to her
See her face. She
to
said,
herself. So those are high burden of consequence there hanging over her head regardless of what happens. But I will leave it up to the court to decide.
Okay, thank you.
Wow, Gary,
Well,
you
the court
suck.
has reviewed the entire record of this matter. The
Battle of
transcript.
shitty
The
lawyers.
court does note that the petitioner has been without a license since March 4, 2097, so approximately 15
2097.
years. That the Secretary of State hearing in this matter occurred on February 4, 2022, and subsequent to that hearing on February 7, 2022, the hearing officer rendered a
Her brother came through the courtroom
decision
and handed
in
out some
which
cherries.
The hearing officer stated he was restoring or providing the petitioner with a restricted license. He states, I quote, "A restricted license is approved in this matter to allow the department to monitor plaintiff's continued recovery from substance abuse or dependency and/or to provide petitioner the opportunity to prove
With all of this,
that but it's she.
did she really
has
have that small of a?
required
Did they
ability
ever
and
say
motivation
what
to
she
drive
blew?
safely and within the law. In this particular case, the court notes that it was presented at that time that, again, there was a substance abuse evaluation by Mr. Travis Washington, which stated that there was a mild alcohol use disorder in sustained full remission, and he gave her a favorable prognosis. There were also a number of letters that the hearing officer also stated confirmed her claimed abstinence and significant lifestyle changes. Further, the court would note that the 12-panel drug screen came in negative in this particular matter. The testimony, obviously, of the petitioner was that she had not drank any alcoholic beverages for a minimum of 10 years. That other than this one instance where she did have some moonshine soaked cherries back in 2017, the court would note that that was 5 years before the hearing in this particular case. And court notes that she's been seeing a therapist, a Stacy Fuentes, for approximately 2 years, and seeing her on a regular basis. And as a result, when I look at this, I note that the purpose of the Secretary of State hearing is to determine whether the petitioner has complied with the statute as well as any administrative rules. Particularly, the court looks at Rule 13, which provides that the petitioner must show by clear and convincing evidence that any substance abuse or dependency problem is under control and likely to remain under control. 2, there is a low or minimal risk of repeated prior abuses.
He said cherries.
Substance. 3, there
And
is
she
a low
said
or minimal risk of driving while impaired or intoxicated.
She's been
4,
driving with no license all these years. Is that what we're to understand?
Safely and within the law. And finally, that the petitioner has maintained the period of abstinence consistent with Rule 13. Obviously, with Rule 13, based upon the petitioner's record, her period of abstinence would be a minimum of 12 months or 1 year in this particular matter. She has shown that
Something we're missing
she
from this,
has,
I think.
other than this one instance with the cherries, which was 5 years ago, that she had in fact been abstinent for 15 years.
So
And
I'm guessing
Mr. Bartell stated
she got
that
this
the cherries
when we understood 97. Maybe in 97 she got in trouble.
provide the
She hadn't drank anything,
complete and
Right.
accurate.
and then she had the cherry, and it made her throw up. So then she knew she's a lifelong non-drinker.
To be
I guess.
completely and totally honest, she was divulging facts that might have been detrimental to her case, which probably ultimately
Which, like,
was detrimental to her
reinstated the whole thing basically because she was
forward
kind of
notice.
still
There
on
was one
probation, if you will,
well
from it
where
maybe.
she had driven, as Mr. Bartell had stated in this particular case.
She get a
And,
lifetime ban on
got
driving.
basically a driving without an operator's license. as stated in this case, the court believes that the Secretary of State did in fact impose other conditions that are not required by the statute. And that is that, again, provided her with a
Mayor,
restricted license so that the department could monitor her continued recovery and give her the opportunity to prove that she was had the required ability and motivation to drive safely and within the law. That is the purpose of the Secretary of State hearing. And again, if the Secretary of State cannot determine that based upon that particular hearing, they aren't in fact granted an additional year or 6 months to continue to have that person under the supervision, if you would, of the Secretary of State, when again, that continued conditions are not contained within the statute or within the administrative rules. As a result, the court will find in this case that the decision of the Secretary of State was in fact arbitrary, capricious, and clearly an abuse or unwarranted exercise of discretion and not consistent with the evidence presented at the time of the hearing on the whole record. As a result, the court will set aside the Secretary of State, I guess you say, restricted license with the conditions, and in fact restore to the petitioner her full driving privileges. I'll ask that Mr. Bartel, that you would prepare that order provided to Mr. Matthews for him to approve, and then he can in fact provide that to the court and we'll get that entered. I will tell you, Ms. Dingy, in this matter, when I was reading through all of this,
Ms. Dingy,
very impressed with what you have done and the actions until I saw the issue about the moonshine cherries. And I go, I can't believe with the history and everything that she had done that she would in fact do that based upon everything that you professed in your other testimony. So clearly, and I think now you understand that was not a very wise decision. I will tell you, the court is restoring to you your driving privileges, but I will tell you, you get this opportunity. If you ever have a drinking driving offense again, don't petition this court because I will not grant you a license, and I'll let you know that right now. So this is your one opportunity, and please make the best of it because you won't be back before this court because I will not grant you one. So understanding that, wish you the best, ma'am. I hope everything works out. And Mr. Bartel.
Man, that is confusing as hell. Did she have a really bad DUI?
Must have been something really bad at some point, but then the judge said it was abuse of basically power that they had done to restrict her license for all these years. She must have been under huge restrictions for very long.
Defense acknowledges
that is crazy.
Waits for the formal reading, enters a plea of not guilty. I did review with Ms. Lutz her rights at arraignment and one charge of assault in the fourth degree domestic violence. She had no questions about either of those issues. Defense
domestic violence. Oh no.
Spoke with her about direct appointment. She would automatically qualify based on my discussions with her. And she does not own any firearms to surrender. Nothing else from defense at this time.
If not guilty, will enter. I do find probable cause to detain and will direct appoint. What is the city's recommendation regarding release?
Thank you. As far as bail, I'm going to defer to the court. Ask for conditions of release of no criminal law violations. A formal pretrial no contact order, which was requested by the alleged victim in this case, and that Ms. Lutz not possess or control firearms or possess or consume alcohol or non-prescribed controlled substances, please.
Any objection to those conditions?
No. In your honor, I did no objection. I mean, she wants the no contact order. I think the issue is that Ms. Lutz, to me, appears to be a vulnerable adult under the law. She receives disability. She has a case manager. She has a caretaker that comes in daily. She tells me that she has a terminal diagnosis. And so, I know this court doesn't have the authority to kick someone out of the home who's kind of just living with them and not paying any of the rent or things, but she's kind of going to be in a situation where she's not going to be able to be home. She's not going to have her caretaker. And I don't know what the answer is, I guess, here. But just wanted the court to be aware of that information. Other than that, nothing from defense.
Mr. Mercer, I don't see where drugs or alcohol were involved. I'm looking at the
moved
defense
me.
statistics, and
She moved
drugs
me.
involved is not checked, and there's nothing in the narrative.
Sure. And what I can represent to the court is that there was contact with the other party involved in this case, and there was an indication from that person that there had been alcohol involved on both of their parts at the time of this incident. So that came directly from the other party.
I mean,
no, my daughter came home drunk. She came home drunk and started to fight with me, and I called 911 for help.
Ms. Lutz,
let her talk.
She was drunk when she got home.
Hey, Ms. Lutz, we're not able, like, today isn't for us to give the court your version of what occurred, okay? It's kind of just all goes on what the
Oh yeah, a
report
lot of
is.
them do. You'll
Our
be
chances
surprised
at
how many do.
trial- Our chances at trial if it gets that far.
Okay. Ma'am, I will release you on your promise to appear. There's one old violation of a no contact order. However, it's 22 years old. So it's, I have no reason to believe that Ms. Lutz won't
ex-boyfriend.
abide by conditions of release at this point. On the following conditions, though, that you attend all future court appearances, have no new criminal law violations, do not own or possess any firearms, have no contact with Chantel Owens, and update your address with the court and DOL immediately if there are any changes. And do you still, is the address on South 151st Street?
Thank
is that
you,
where this
Sheriff. Thank
incident took place?
Yeah.
We're hiding ET out. You don't want him to get taken back.
We'll set this for an out of custody hearing on July 19th.
Thank you, Peggy. By the way, I
I'm making a
apologize to
finding that is
everybody
a
over on
necessary court
Facebook.
appearance in furtherance of bringing
Right
this matter
now, you
to
can't
trial.
send stars or
Actually,
anything. So if you
Ms.
want to,
Lutz, do you have access
really
to a
are
telephone or a
drawn
computer?
to, you want to help us, we'll give you guys alternate ways that you can do so until that is fixed. Quick, who thinks she has access to a computer? Get your guess in now. I'll give you a second. And here we go.
I have my phone.
Okay.
She does.
That next hearing will be a Zoom hearing, just like we're having now, and you can call in with the phone, okay?
Okay, yeah, I have Zoom on my phone.
Oh, perfect. And it'll be July 19th
I'm
at
an
1:15
amateur.
in the afternoon. And I'm making the finding that is a necessary court appearance in furtherance
It's
of
there,
bringing
you
this
just
matter
can't
to
see it. It's
trial.
under her chin.
You must appear at that hearing virtually unless you are in good contact with your attorney and he has authority to waive speedy trial on your behalf. Otherwise, if you fail to appear, a warrant will likely be issued.
Right, a warrant.
What did she just say? One morning, he found a man, his wife, and oh my God. Wow, that is awful. That is awful. Ooh, my goodness. He says your point. You're all wrong, baby. She's got intranet
Mr.
at
Senator,
her
is civil
house and
standby
a
needed?
computer.
Yes.
I can get.
And what is that address?
Man, what's your address where you?
3017 151st South 151st Street.
Love her voice.
Seatac,
a good one.
Washington 98188.
It looks
But
like she
I
got a
obviously
shiner.
won't be there no more, so I don't know where I'm gonna be.
I don't think she's slept in like 4 days.
I think she had 2 black eyes. Matter of fact, her daughter went to her ass.
Surely she's been at a few Dollar Generals in the past few
Talk to your
weeks.
caseworker. Maybe they'll have some suggestions on how to handle this.
Okay.
Good luck figuring it out, ma'am. I wash my hands of you.
The last one, this is the
Well,
we're waiting. I always enjoy people to try and cry, then like stop, like a split
I'm
second
gonna
later.
upload
They
a
go from
declaration of non-surrender.
full on crying to
You
nothing.
don't have any firearms to surrender. And you'll need to sign that as well when SCORE gives you paperwork.
Okay.
All right, thank you. You're all set. We'll see you back here in July.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to jump over here and show you the
Yeah, I want to take a moment
Celtics
to
fan here.
address you on some of the rationale for the court for my decision on the motions.
Trying to kiss the judge's
You know,
ass.
I appreciate your lifelong commitment to ministry.
And
I'm
to the
not
Celtics.
making any comment on whether it's good or bad, meaning are you a good minister or a bad minister? Hopefully your heart is in it and you've served your faith according to the best of your abilities. So I'm not making any qualitative comment on the work that you've done and whatever the benefits have been to the people to whom you have served. Mr. Feifelski attached about 20 letters
These guys is
to his
the
missions that are in
pastor.
support of this. They are people that have spoken up about the value that you have brought to their life. What I did say off the record, though, and I want to explain this to you, I might have ruled differently on the motions had you been convicted of embezzlement or armed robbery or something like that. But you were convicted of exactly the crime that it is alleged that you are now violating your probation for. I'm sorry to put a preposition at the end of that, but it's kind of confusing. So essentially, because of the type of conviction that you have, you've now engaged in activity where it's being alleged that you are violating the specific term of your probation as it relates to prison ministry. So I just need to be 100% or perfectly clear that your days of prison ministry or jail ministry are done. You are prohibited by the terms of your probation from engaging in any prison or jail-based ministries. So I am not stepping in and saying you may not minister to others, you may not counsel others. That's kind of up to you and whoever would hire you and however you do that.
Whoever's dumb enough to hire you.
That's the nature of life.
Are we
But
talking to
I'm
Levi?
telling you, based on the conviction,
Judge is staring
there's
right
no-
at him.
I mean, there's kind of a zero tolerance
ignoring
by the black and white printing on the order of probation that you may not engage in that. So that's the added condition number 26 that specifically prohibits that. So that is, if it were proven that you did that, Mr. Relecki, you would have violated your
Relecki.
probation and you theoretically could be sentenced to go to prison yourself for that. So
The guy sitting next to
according to the terms of your probation,
Oh, down in the
as it
corner here,
stands
maybe.
today, you
Because
may
they'll
not
wait.
engage in that at all. So, as it relates to the motions that were filed, you are eligible for early discharge from probation once you complete all the terms of your probation. One of the discussion points that we had at the bench was that you've not completed that. There is some confusion that your attorney has stated about that. Agent
we did too.
Marshall
We
will
came in
explain
late.
that to you. Today is a reporting day for you. So once this hearing ends, I'm ordering that you contact Agent Marshall to have your routine reporting date, and he'll explain to you how I think the last remaining large condition of your probation can and will be met, but you have not satisfied everything. Once you've satisfied everything, you are eligible to seek early discharge from probation. I'm not going to promise you sitting here today that I'm going to grant that. And in fact, it may be that you don't apply for early discharge from probation until after January.
Maybe he
which
likes it like the
judge
other
will
guy
be
did.
handling this file. So I'm just trying to put it out there for you, sir, that under no circumstance are you to be contacting any inmates in the Washtenaw County Jail or any other county jail that is in the state of Michigan or elsewhere in the nation. You are not to be contacting any prisoners in MDOC or any other state prison system. The prison ministry part of your life is over. And if there are other things that you
Good
have
God, what did he do? Come
prepared or
on.
want to pursue,
Give us a hint,
that's not
please.
for me to tell you you
Does
can't.
he have
or
a
can't do
sex
it.
with the prisoners?
That's really between you and God and any employer on that level. So I'm going to let you explore that. But as it relates to the motions, they are denied. As it relates to the violation of probation hearing, I'm adjourning that to October 24th, 2022 at 1:30 p.m. And as it relates to your reporting, I'm ordering that you contact Agent Marshall before close of business today to do your second report meeting with him. Any questions?
Oh, sir. Just what's your number, Agent Marshall?
My number is still the same, 734 210 9054.
You know he's got his number right there in his phone. They talk all the time.
Thank you. No other questions, Judge.
And Mr.
All right,
Fekalski, do you want to prepare the orders?
I can, sure.
Okay. Thank you. I don't have anything else.
Okay, I will
Thank you,
sign
Your Honor.
those when they are submitted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right, I have one other case, if you don't mind.
Give me a second. I'll find out what he did.
I'm
So-
jumping back. I got it right here.
As it relates to the motions that were filed,
Okay.
you are eligible for early and whatever.
By the way, I am and
benefits
Bishop,
to
both
who you have served.
ordained ministers, just so you know.
I know. It's a little
The other
confusing.
bishop, not this one.
Okay, October, it's gonna be Monday, so October.
September. So that said, Mr. Relecki, I want to take a moment to address you on some of the rationale for the court for my decision on the motions.
I just backtracked and
You
re-read
know,
this.
I appreciate your lifelong commitment.
That's
to
where we
this truth.
started, isn't it?
Not making any comment on whether it's good or bad, meaning are you a good minister or a bad minister?
Yeah, that's where we started.
Your heart is in it, and you've served.
Gosh, they might not even have said that.
Order of the court that the defendant's motion for early discharge from probation or early release from probation is denied. The motion to dismiss the violation of probation is denied, and the motion to strike condition 26 is denied. There is still the pending violation.
Yeah, that's why we did a couple of weddings actually.
Probation hearing. The court may not dismiss the violation without conducting a hearing. I will set that hearing date for October.
So he just jumped right into it as soon as they went on and said it's just denied.
It's a little
We get
confusing.
this right? Okay, October, it's gonna be Monday, so October 24th.
October 24th at 1:30 p.m. So just so you don't all freak out, Judge Brown's and Judge Conlon's docket days are switching Wednesdays to Mondays. So this is Monday, October 24th, because Judge Brown's docket day will start on Monday.
I don't care. What did this do, please?
So that said, Mr. Relecki, I want to take a moment to address you
I-
on some of the rationale for the.
That's
for the
it.
court.
Did you see where I went back? See, they're not even here. So I guess we'll never know. These people were waiting around forever.
He wasn't supposed to be around
Back on the
inmates, I'm guessing, because of his conviction.
Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe they found out he's a felon. He can't be around other felons. I don't know. That was weird.
561 5473.
All right, we will use that, but if you get a mailing address, you can also update the court with that, so we can send you your court dates. Okay, now Ms. Simmons is your lawyer, so stay in good touch with her. If anything changes, she'll let you know. All right.
She'll let you
Anything
pay
else, Ms.
with
Simmons?
loving.
No,
Like,
thank you, Your Honor.
pressed
Thank you,
it so
Mr.
long
Patrick.
ago, I don't even remember.
All right, you're good to go, Mr. Patrick.
Oh, Robbie Rob?
Rob, if you're feeling better. I'm waiting for the next person to sit
Okay,
down.
and I think Mr. Stave is still in that breakout room, so
Your Honor, that should be ready, assuming that the alleged victim is here because it's here on her motion.
okay, which case is that?
That is Ryan Lorenz, and he should be present on this.
Mr. Lorenz,
Bring
are
in
you
the-
with us?
The victim is here.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, got it. So 22 DV 202,
Brought by the complaining witness's motion.
got it. And
Ms. Brenda Woods.
I'm still trying to adjust to the new system of opening our.
Don't forget, guys, 4:05 Eastern today. Wild Woman Wednesday, and it's a doozy. Best wild woman in the business.
Who?
Whoa.
Miss this one here?
Miss
You're talking about?
Osbrooks. She could be a wild woman, I bet.
All right, who do we have up next, Mr. Fife?
Judge has got her hair, dude.
Okay, thank you.
What Hussein?
Thank you.
Boy, everybody's moving a little slow today, huh?
He is on the docket, right?
He is,
Yes, I
Judge.
found it. I
We've
have
got our
you
witness on the other one if you want to jump back.
Situation with our small children. I really need to get back to work as a nurse, and I've not been able to. It's been 4 months of this no contact order, and it's really making it hard for me to meet ends, because basically I'm relying on him to put money into an account for me to be able to like pay bills and take care of the kids, and it's very hard. And I'm really hoping to get back to work soon. I have several recruiters that want to send me to jobs, but without him having it removed and being able to be at the home or have it fully rescinded, I'm not able to leave my children full time, because I am a travel nurse. So it's not like it's a 40-hour or 36-hour week where I can come back home at night. So I'm just really in a hardship right now. And I'm hoping that the court will be able to help me this time and at least address this no contact order. I'm very well aware there's multiple with the Superior Court with the things that are up in the air right now there, but I'm just trying to take each step I can to better, my children's lives and our lives. I believe he's been doing everything that he needs.
Can I ask what you did?
From the victims advocates and his attorney. I've not heard anything negative about him not following up with this stuff. So I really hope that the court can find in my favor to rescind it fully. I mean, if there has to be some stipulation, as obviously as if he's following treatment or whatever recommendations, I completely understand that, because as far as I understand, I believe he's been following any treatment recommendations that, he's needed this whole time. So I just really hope we can
All
get our
right.
family back
So
together.
obviously he
Our
had
daughter
a
did just turn
issue
1
and
on
she got
Monday,
a
and she did miss her birthday.
order against him, and
I'm hoping to resolve
wanna
this
do
as
everything
best as
herself.
possible for our whole family.
All right, Ms. Stavino, this is one.
They
of
both love
4
hoodies. I mean, let's
no
face it.
contact orders, 3 of which
Are they not in the
criminal
same
cases
house? I
pending.
mean, look at those
Yes,
walls.
Your Honor. One of those orders actually does not involve insults.
No, I mean in general.
Oh, yes. And yes, Your Honor, you are correct, and that comes out of those Superior Court cases and then our case, of course. So there, for the 3, it looks like one was entered in
I
each
think you
case.
might be right.
And yes, it looks like the Superior Court cases, they are still active at this.
I want to see the trim.
But we obviously.
The latest allegation of a violation was
Not
June
touch
6th,
the trim.
just a few days ago.
Yes, Your Honor. And if I remember correctly, that was while in custody.
There's
So
also a
he's got
burglary
one
charge
against her.
associated with that.
It's my understanding.
Okay, I thought it was the other way around because she was talking about him getting treatment.
So he is working very closely with myself and the Superior Court attorney to resolve these matters. We do have some thoughts.
There's a
as to how
naked
this might
woman
go, but we have to see.
threatening
He is
people with
definitely in
a
treatment
knife
and was
at
in
a
treatment
gas
and is doing what
station.
he's supposed to do. He hadn't been in treatment for very long.
LAPD is
so he
responding
still-
code
he's back
3.
in with them, and now
Yeah.
he,
If anybody goes to it,
they're gonna have all the
Stu's up in the
information
air.
as
He
well,
was.
and so he is doing what he has.
There's also a gang of people with
State-
guns in an alley.
Well, this one's city of Tumwater, but
Yes, Your Honor.
you're also prosecuting him on the Superior Court charges.
Yes, the city would object to any modification at this time. We will note that this case was set to resolve. The residential burglary occurred the day before that resolution, the plea was supposed to take place. The city had already agreed, and we maintained that agreement, that there can be third-party contract for childcare issues. Those terms were consistent with one of the orders in Superior Court. Further violations occurred, and a new order was issued, which does not allow for any contact. The
See
city
how close those colors are, though. I think Mikey might
does
be right.
believe
They're
that
very close.
a resolution may be possible in all these matters. There are a lot of people working to, quite frankly, help.
Because
Mr.
he is.
Lorenz.
Come on now.
He cannot comply with the orders. His behavior shows that. And the city does not feel that these are minor issues. The city is, one moment, Your Honor, just.
Hold on, let me
Well,
work on my
you know,
words, Your Honor.
Despite what it may be the trajectory of the resolution of this case or the cases in Superior Court, as a practical matter, I can't really offer any relief because even if the court were to remove the no contact order in this case, it wouldn't make any practical change on the ground because there are other orders in place from Superior Court. That
You
would
think
do the
I
same thing.
am like so shocked by it? So I'm up here
This
bashing it
case
because
is
I don't
not
like
in a
gay
position
people.
where it's appropriate to change a release condition like a no contact order in light of the allegations of the violations of it and the pending charges. I understand, Ms. Woodsy, you want this to be over and you don't want him to be under the restrictions of the order, but you know that's up to him. Not and the situation's not getting closer to that reality based on what I can see here with this pattern. So at this point, I can't offer you any practical relief anyway. And even if I could,
How about
I don't
hand?
think
Hand
it would be
release?
appropriate to do so, given the allegations of pretrial release violations.
I was hoping
and
one
the
of them
other
would
pending
cough or
criminal
sneeze.
charges.
Let's see if it
So there
makes
isn't
sense.
going to be any change in the release condition of the no contact order today. That is going to be denied. So Mr.
I see.
Lorenz, stay in touch with your attorneys. Once the case gets resolved, that may be another opportunity to look at whether the order is still going to continue.
Oh, and one last thing to address, Your Honor, I just realized, the no contact order, is there an actual specific address on that one, or is it, well, actually ours doesn't control anyway, but at least on ours, is there a specific address or just for residents? Because I don't.
But
know
I
that
love
that
him, Your Honor.
Residence is at issue anymore. But Ms. Woods can speak for herself on that, and whether she's living at the residence named or not.
No, there's not like a street address listed on it. No.
Okay, understood, Your Honor.
She just looked at him, by the way. He keeps looking
Okay,
over at
that'll
her.
conclude Mr.
I
Lawrence's
swear they
case for
are.
today. Any other matters, Ms. Stabenow?
No, Your Honor, not on my.
That's all your cases?
Oh.
Look at him keep looking over.
Yeah, I believe that's the last matter for me.
Okay.
She's just sitting there looking stunned.
I think Ms. Simmons still has some. I think I'm
She's looked over at him. I swear to God,
I
she's
have
looking
one
over
other
at him.
attorney here, Mr.
I
Whaley.
swear, man, they were in the same house. I believe they were.
There we go.
Oh, double ball these two for
On behalf of
Wednesday.
Charles Jones, this is 16969.
Whaley Law,
And
everybody.
we're here today for a trial confirmation.
Correct.
Are you ready to confirm for trial?
Wally.
We are, Your Honor. My records reflect we set this matter for trial on July
Whoa.
14th, 2021. And we will have trial potentially on June 28th and 29th.
Yeah, June 28th and 29th are the dates. All right, is the state ready to confirm for trial as well?
No, Your Honor, this one, we would ask that we can trail the confirmation for one day. We did not send subpoenas in time to.
Are they in a cult?
I'll fall on my sword.
I mean,
I did not give the information adequate
The
time for those
Baldies.
letters to arrive to the witnesses. So I can confirm and I just want to avoid the filing of a motion to continue for unavailability.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that
All
was
right,
real
I'm going to
close.
mark you down as confirmed. If that reality happens, you're free to file a motion.
Understood.
And then we'll evaluate at that time. So, Mr. Wally, I'm going to mark Mr. Jones's case
Wally.
down as
Mr.
ready
Wally.
for trial. And we'll see everybody back here on June 28th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Just want to take you over to this courtroom. I say that I mean, apparently, Seabird is still happening where we're at.
Either that or, I mean, we're just trying to get our money's worth out of what appears to be a shower curtain next to him. I don't know. It looks like something you'd like raise up like a projector screen.
Yeah.
Look at the top.
Yeah, it does. It's that's a
portable.
beaut. Anyways, guys, that is it for us for We Got a Case. We do this 5 days a week, Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. East. Catch as much of the live Zoom court drama as we can and as it unfolds. Don't forget, back at 4:05 East for We Got a Chase. And Mikey said it's going to be a good Wild Worming Wednesday.
Promise.
He promises.
Promise.
See you back.
And yeah, so we'll be back for that. Don't forget to like this video if you haven't already done so. If you haven't subscribed, or if you're over on Facebook and you're mad that you can't send stars no more, YouTube. All right, guys, until next time. You damn it, Facebook. Please remember.
You know, we were talking such good stuff about Facebook, and gotta go and be a dick.